Hello, this video will be part of a series that covers some of the Chapter 4 and Chapter 3 basics we've been going over in class. Specifically, I wanted to demonstrate for loops and showing scope, as well as how we can convert a for loop to a while loop, and also show how a do while loop will always run once. So I got us a little bit started here on our loops, and then we're not going to import scan or anything. So here's the description. I did want to point out our Java tags. Most people have that. We see at version, at sense, and the way you can tell that these are working is if you simply go from source code to documentation. At this point in time, you'll see sense, version, and author filled in. And you always want to have this after your description, because basically anything that's below this is going to write out and it'll make it look confusing. So let's say, for example, I just did my first name here, and if we flip this to documentation, you're going to see sense and version. You're not going to see author. So it's very key that you have all of these tags. Okay, so let's start off. We'll need a main here. So public static void main string array called args, and then we're going to put that in. You'll see how I put the two curly braces that went down. So let's just put a simple loop in here, and this is going to be a very simple program for int I is 1, I less than 5. Let's do less than 5, and then we'll do less than or equal to 5. Less than 5, and then I plus plus. Again, we're going to put another curly brace in here. Now let's just simply print out I. System.out.println. We'll say I is, and we're just going to simply print out I with concatenation here. Okay. So this should be enough to run our program. And if we run this, what's going to happen is the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set I, that's an integer, to 1. So this is going to be the first thing we do. And the second thing we're going to do in our while loop, or for loop, sorry, is that we're going to check to see if I, in this case 1, is less than 5. If that is true, we're going to run this entire block. In this particular case, we're just going to print out I is I, and then the second we get down to the bottom of our for loop, we're going to increment I. I will then go from 1 to 2, and we'll do our tests, and we basically keep going back and forth on these two of our tests and our incrementation or updates until this becomes false. If it doesn't become false, we're in an infinite loop. So let's run this guy. Okay, no compilers, and we'll run this, do our main, and then we'll see I is 1, I is 2, 3, 4, because when I got to 5, 5 wasn't less than this. So if we simply change this less than or equal to 5 and compile, now we're going to see that we're going to run this 5 times instead of 4 times. Sorry, less than or equal to, not less than or plus 5. Looks like Ryan's joining. Okay, so now let's compile this guy and run it again. Okay, now when we run this, we're going to see I is 1 to 5, because I was now updated, so it can be less than or equal to 5. So let's do this. I don't even know if it'll let us do this, because it'll be potentially out of scope, but let's do the same thing for I right now, because I should have been 6, and let's print this out and compile this. And it may or may not compile, so because it says, hey, I can't find variable I, where is this at? Because we declared I within this for loop, only that for loop knows I. So if you want to print something outside of your for loop, you could simply declare I outside your for loop, and because I was declared outside your for loop, the only thing you have to do now is just assign I to 1. So in this case, we'll see we're going to print I as 1 to 5. Let's just say out of for loop, comma, I is 5. So that way we'll know we're in our for loop or out of our for loop. So in for loop, I is, and this will run 6 times or 5 times, and then this will get to 6. This will become false, but we'll still print this out because we have the proper scope. So let's run and make sure our assumptions are correct, and here we go. In the for loop, I is 1, and we do this 1 to 5, and then we made this false. Then we said out of for loop, I is 6. Okay, so if we wanted to, like I said, we can always make a while loop or for loop into a while loop. So let's do this, and let's create a while loop based on for loop above. So to do this, and we'd use this while loop if we didn't know how many times we're going to run our program. So for example, if we're using this for user validation, or if we're using this with a sentinel value, you'd want to use a while loop, because at that point in time, you do not know how many times the loop will run. You don't know how many times it'll take a user to put a good input. It might be 0, it might be 1, it might be 200. And then if they're entering a test score or numbers to average, you don't know how many they're going to average unless you want to ask them beforehand. And then you could grab that value and then put that into a for loop, and you would know at that point in time. So if we wanted to make that for loop into a while loop, we would do the same thing, except let's do int I is 1 outside our while loop, and we're going to do while. And we're going to put our Boolean expression in our while loop here. So while I is less than or equal to 5, we'll put our braces in here. We're simply just going to put this body in here. So at this point in time, let's run this and see what happens, because I contend we have created a infinite loop, because I is 1, and then I is going to be less than or equal to 5, and we haven't incremented I, so it's always going to run. But let's run this anyways just to see an infinite loop. Perhaps some students haven't seen it. So we'll compile. It's saying int I is already done. So let's comment this guy out. Okay, so we can still see our for loop, but right now, if anybody saw that error, it basically said, hey, you've already declared I above here. You can't declare another variable called I. Even if we, actually let's go back. Even if we said I is now double and try to do this, it's going to still say the variable I is already defined above. Okay, so let's comment this out. And now let's say int I, because we want to make it look exactly like our for loop. And now if we compiled no errors, so we didn't have a syntax error here, but I contend we're going to have a runtime error. If we run this, we're just going to say I in for loop, and actually we're going to be in while loop, and then it's just going to keep going forever and ever and ever. If this happens, you could just right-click this and then reset the Java virtual machine, and now you come out. So let's instead change this for in while loop, I is, and then we're going to increment. So at this point in time, we've accounted for the initialization of the for loop. Here we have the Boolean expression, but we don't have our update yet. So we'll just simply grab our update, and we'll put that in our while loop. And now let's do this final print. out of while loop. And now if we run this, so let's compile it. No syntax errors, good. No whammies, no whammies. So now if we run our main, we're going to see that in while loop, and we had the same exact results that we did for our for loop. So we said in while loop, I is 1 to 5. This became false, and then we dropped out of our while loop, and then we printed out our while loop is 6. So let's do one more loop here. Let's do a do while loop, and let's do the same thing. We'll use this kind of as a pattern. We'll comment this guy out. And now let's do a do while loop. So the syntax for do while loop is we're going to go do. We're going to put our curly braces down here. And then this is going to be, well, we'll fill this in first. Just like in a while loop, we're going to declare our variables outside of our loop. So let's start off by doing int I is 1, and we're going to make our while loop, do while loop look exactly like our while loop, except remember our while loop is a pretest, so we're going to test it, then run it. Our do while loop is going to be a post test. It's always going to run it, then test it. So we'll see that even if this is false, it's going to run. So let's do our same syntax here. Let's fix this guy and comment him out. And we'll let BlueJ fix all this for us. And now we're going to do while I is less than 5. Now remember, on a do while loop, on a while loop, if you put a semicolon right here, that would create an infinite loop. What's a bit confusing is on a do while loop, you do have to end the while loop as a statement. You're going to put your semicolon here. Now let's print our loop out at the end, outside of our do while loop. Let's fix up and pretty up our auto content here. So I contend this should do the same thing as our last while loop did. So let's compile. No syntax errors. And now if we run our loop and run this, it's going to say in while loop, actually be in do while loop, and this was exactly what we had in our while loop. So let's initialize this 1 to, or this I to a 6. At this point in time, our while loop is going to be false. So let's see what happens. Let's compile. Now let's run this. So even though our loop was false, so we started off with in while loop was 6. I don't know how we got to our out of while loop was 7 actually. Where do we increment? Because that would have been incremented in the while loop, so that doesn't make sense. So let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. We did do our while loop because this is the do while loop. We're actually always going to run this once. So even though this was 6, we start off with our while loop as this was 6, so we're going to say in the while loop, I is 6. We incremented it, and this is false. So now once you do this, you're gonna fall out of your while loop because this statement was false. So despite I being greater than 5, we still ran this loop. So we printed out in our while loop, we incremented, and then we came out of this and it was false. And now we're saying out of while loop is 7 because we went through this and we incremented it. Okay, so that's our basics, and what we'll do on the next video is take a look at using user validation. So we'll pick this up in the next video.